So we now have over 150,000 members, millions of supporters, and there's no doubt about it, reform has got a bit of buzz, a bit of energy. Our supporters cross every single range of background you can possibly think of. And I'm here with one today who became quite notorious last year, Jamie Duke of Marlborough. Now, we're sitting here in Blenheim Palace, and of course, very, very famous British and world leader was born at Blenheim Palace.
He was. Winston was born here. His mother Jenny was caught off hop on her route back from the Cascades to the house. So, it was a 1, 2, 3 back to the house, and young John was born in a room on the other side of the house. He loved Blenheim. I never forget him. He grabbed me. He was painting down in the kitchen gardens, and he grabbed me, put me on his knee, and said, "If you ever want to get into politics, don't."
Now, somebody else who was fascinated by Churchill.
Yeah.
So fascinated that on his first day in the Oval Office in 2017, he put the Churchill bust back into the Oval Office, and he'll do it again. It's Donald Trump. Tell us about Trump's visit here.
Trump, he was marvelous. First of all, the 2 Ospreys arrived, and we had to have 4 fire engines because it was very dry. So the grass went up like a tinder pond. So there were 4 fire engines on duty. He then got into the Bruges, right? Drove up like any good president should. Arrived at the steps, and myself and my wife went down and greeted him. He said, "I've done my research on you." I said, "Sir?" He said, "I think we're going to get along just fine." I said, "Well, there's a lot of research to do." He said, "Don't worry, I've done it." And ever since then, we got on incredibly well together, to the fact that he asked Melania and the president asked me and my family out to Mar-a-Lago for a week, and we had tremendous fun. And he couldn't have been a nicer, kinder, more generous host, and just talked complete sense.
And he's back.
And I wrote to him the week before last, and I congratulated him. I had this in my brain. I wrote to him, and the letters are out there, congratulating him as the 45th president of the United States. I then had tremendous gratitude in being able to say congratulations again to the 47th, and begged him the fact that he's only got 4 years to do what he needs to do.
And not just for America.
No, for the world.
Yeah.
For the world.
Yeah. You confident?
Am I confident? Yes, I am. Because I don't believe, Nigel, that there is any other man in the States or anywhere else in the world, and I really do have utmost faith in him.
Now, what happened at Royal Ascot last year?
Well, it sort of started out of being a bit of a laugh that I was going to wear a reform badge to White's Club. And the secretary of White's Club didn't think that was a particularly good idea, but he liked the idea of it. So he said, "I tell you what, Your Grace, why don't you put it inside, your overflap?" Which I did. So people saw it, but they didn't. But they got the message, and it actually went down the storm.
Yeah, I mean, photographs of you and you weren't turned out of the royal enclosure for wearing it or hiding it or...
No, absolutely not. I wasn't. There was a certain gentleman who shall remain nameless who took the only photograph of me at White's where I went like that, and the reform badge was on display. But that was good. He happened to sell that to the Daily Mail.
Yeah, well, there's always out there.
There is always a cowboy out there.
Oh, yeah. And what is it that's made you come and support reform?
First of all, I'm completely dissatisfied with both the parties we've got in power at the moment, or not in, as opposition to each other. I looked at you as being a more than capable leader, and I put leader in with great emphasis, because we do need a leader of this country, right? I've looked at lots of potential leaders, and I don't see one apart from yourself at this time, right? And I really think, Nigel, that you need to take that lead for the good of the country.
Well, I'm doing what I can. Well, can I just say a massive thank you for putting your head over the parapet. Your personal support for me means a lot, for the party means a lot. And we are going to turn this around, aren't we?
We certainly are. And I will do anything in my power that I can do to help you, the Reform Party, and its followers. And please, please follow the Reform Party. It is the only way out of this quagmire. Please.
That was a party political broadcast from Blenheim Palace by the Duke of Marlborough.